Hello everyone and welcome to a small mini-series of Sonic Riders for the PS2. Also available on GameCube and Xbox as well. Now I remember playing this as a kid like back in 2006 and I loved it back then and I still love it now. Because honestly this game nowadays gets an awful lot of hate going on for it. And I'm here just to make this video to show why I like this game and why I think you should try it out. Because honestly I will agree. It has a very, very steep learning curve. Like the first time you play it, it's gonna take some practice for you to get familiar with things and stuff. But if you just stick with me for me explaining how the game works and the controls and stuff, it should be fun. So now let's just start with Hero Story.
I think the signal's coming from around here. That's really weird. It looks like something's jamming the radar signal.
Huh? There! What's that?
Sonic! The emerald's over there!
All right! Now we're talking! Shoot! Not bad. What the? So, you're supposed to be the fastest thing alive? Oh, new competition.
Eggman!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone! I hope you're all ready for a show. We've got an exciting event just for you! Since you all seem so bored, I put together a little extra something to spice things up. I call it the X-World Grand Prix, a tournament to see who's the best of the best with extreme gear. Not just a race, but a special race to see who's the fastest. And these races are no holds barred. All contestants pay a simple entry fee of 1 Chaos Emerald, and the winner takes it all. So, let's see who among you dares to meet this challenge.
Eggman again! Just what is he up to this time?
And there's more. Before I forget, I'll present the current contestants. These players, they're hot. The best racers I can find.
Hey, that's the X-World Grand Prix, huh? Let's do this!
Yep, so there you go, that's pretty much the plot to this game. Nothing serious going on or anything, but it's Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, what else did you expect, you know? I mean, it's a hedgehog that runs at the speed of sound and stuff. Of course, it's not going to have the most serious story of all time and things. But this is a racing game, in case you couldn't tell, with it being called Sonic Riders. And we're set basically on these hoverboards in order to go through things. It's almost like we're like in the Back to the Future Part 2, if you will, but still. Like I was saying though at the beginning, this has a very, very steep learning curve going on. When I first played this as a kid, honestly, I kid you not, I hated it, because I just could not get the hang of the control going on, you know? Where every time I would just like fail a mission and I thought it was the game's fault because of the clunky controls going on. And while you may think that at first, with a bit of practice, you do actually get quite used to it with things going on. The tips of advice that I can give you though, when you're trying to do this mainly, is grab enough rings as you can really, because then you'll level up, as you saw right there or so. See, when you get to level 2, you'll perform like this boost move, and it will just last longer. You see, when you get to higher levels, your boost will last longer depending on which level you're at. In this case, I'm at level 3, which is the maximum amount. So when I boost now, you'll see that I will just continuously keep going, you know, instead of it just running out so quickly. That's the key thing, really. And the sad thing, really, is if you fall off the edge or something, and, or even, like, get hit by an enemy, you'll lose rings, and then that will just lower, you know, your level. So you mainly just want to try and keep your level high and stuff. And the one thing that it doesn't really tell you at the beginning, because honestly you're just kind of thrown in, it doesn't really tell you any controls or anything, but there is like a hidden tutorial section if you go to the options, which I'm going to show off later, because that helped me a ton. It made me actually enjoy this game as a kid. I just kept looking at that tutorial and learning the basics of the controls, but it has this really odd mechanic going on, where when you hold down the X, it charges your jump, and what you're supposed to do really is when it turns red and your engine noise goes down, that is when you release it or so. But that wasn't really a good example there because I kind of mistimed it, because the thing I'm recording it with is like a SCART to HDMI adapter, and it gives me like some sort of input latency, so of course it delayed my control. But as soon as it goes red, that's when you release it and you will jump higher, and it depends for what direction you're going. If you want to jump further, you need to make sure it charges red, release it, but then push forward on the analog stick, because you know then it will propel the character forwards. Or if you want to go higher in this case, you would pull backwards on the control stick when it turns red. Again, I screwed it up. I do have a lot of moments in this small LP series of doing these races where I screw up stuff, because admittedly I'm not a master at this game, but I still think it's a ton of fun, and when you really get the hang of it, it is super fun. Honestly, in my opinion anyway. I mean, some people might not think so, but I like this game and I'm here to defend it.
Yeah, but what exactly is Eggman really after? Ah, it can't be anything too important.
Hey, Sonic!
Huh? Amy? Don't tell me you've signed up too!
Of course, it really looks exciting and fun. Why wouldn't I join? And besides, this way, I'll be able to keep my eyes on you.
Ugh. Tails?
That mark.
Mark?
Uh-huh. I think it was on the boards of those guys we ran into in Future City. Babylon.
Babylon?
Yes, the mark of the Babylon rogues. A long time ago, there was a floating island known as Babylon Garden. Supposedly, robbers lived there. According to rumors, this legendary band, the Babylon Rogues, were great thieves. Legend also says that the Babylon Rogues incurred the wrath of the gods because of their crimes, and that the island was cast into the depths of the earth. After that, supposedly the Babylonians were then scattered for all time, never to be found. But they say that the Babylon Rogues' treasure still remains on that island, waiting to be discovered. There are also rumors that the Babylon Rogues were extreme gear specialists.
Take a shot every time he says Babylon.
Still, how can a plank like that just float?
That's easy to explain. According to the Kutta-Joukowski lift theorem, the control surface flow is balanced by the inverse kinetics of the...
Stop! I get it, okay? It just floats, and that's good enough for me. Huh?
Sorry, but it's just too funny. Huh? That gear's unusual.
Customized it myself.
Well, I never imagined anyone would enter the race with such a piece of junk. Thanks, though. It was good for a laugh. See ya, Shorty.
Oh, that girl! Who does she think she is?
Yeah, how can she just walk in and diss Tails?
I know, and tinkering's all he's really good at, too.
The next race is about to begin. Please come to the gate, participants.
And yeah, and the next part of this will be basically being Tails and racing through the next race in part 2. So, see you then in this mini-series.